I always thought it would be cool if you could go back and listen to the day-to-day of today's highest achievers as it happened, as opposed to 30 years later after they've made it. I believe there's a giant disconnect between ground zero and the top floor because we only see the top floor and the top floor only talks about the top. How valuable would that be? And so it goes without saying, but I believe I'll make it there. And this is the documented journey through each level. My name is Bryson Sessions, and you are listening to the Bed Podcast.
All right, this one might be a little bit of a shorter one as well because I'm running behind today. But I was thinking about yesterday, which is a podcast that you heard. If you're listening as these come out, then to yesterday, I guess. I don't know. I was thinking about yesterday because it was a very difficult day, I think emotionally, for so many different reasons. And I think, honestly, the biggest one was just because I was very, very tired and just trying to navigate life, running on shit hours of sleep. So whatever. But nonetheless, it was a very difficult day. And I was thinking about that today because I'm proud as hell of myself for overcoming days like yesterday and not quitting on anything. Nothing, like none of my progress towards phase 3 or my diet or my goals or anything, the gym, work, nothing was compromised. I kept going. And I don't know, Andy Frisella calls those things test days. When you have, maybe you're on a diet, you have lots of temptation that day, or maybe you just want to stay in bed all day, or whatever the case may be. We all have test days, and it's absolutely critical that you pass them because they're just markers and milestones for where everybody else quits and decides that they are too weak or too lazy or they don't want their goals bad enough. So with yesterday being as difficult as it was for me, and then having passed that, it builds more confidence within me to keep going. So it's like, okay, if I can kick a day like yesterday's ass, I can absolutely kick every single day like that's ass for the rest of forever. That's all it takes is just proof of one attempt or one successful attempt at winning the day. Sorry, I'm trying to get my ice bath set up here. Then you have that proof with you forever. So that's kind of the mentality I've been walking into today. Because here's the thing. So it is. Oh man, I don't want to get in here. It's 6:05, 6:10 right now, and I still have to record this podcast. Still have to finish working on the business side of things. I told myself, or I committed to finishing one phase of the program, the design for the workouts. And it doesn't have to be final. It just has to be finished to the point where I say it is. And then if it's not good enough or if it's bad, then I can fix it later. But that's what I declared to do today. That's one of my 3 additional tasks. And then I also have to, so my estimate is that's going to take me about 15, 20 minutes if I just sit down and do it because I'm halfway done. I did a lot of it at work today. So I'm going to do that. And then I have to stretch for 15 minutes. So already we're at about a half hour and I need to be asleep in 45 minutes, right? So I have to do that, and then I need to record the show, write about it, upload it, which I can do this while I'm doing other things, so we'll just say 0 time. So there's that. And then I need to finish my water and then eat a little bit, but that's fine. It's very simple. I'm very caught up with that for today. And then I need to, what else? Wow, is that it? Am I overthinking? Hold on, what else do I need to do? Oh, I need to journal about my random act of kindness today. Because what I did was, so when I went to the gym today, the accessory rack where they have all the handles and the pull down bars and the grips and stuff, I actually organized all of that and kind of cleaned stuff up, threw some trash away and put the mat in a different room and put the stair or put the little platform where it needs to go. I kind of just cleaned that up, and it's relatively small. I just did it in between sets, so it took probably 10, 15 minutes maybe to kind of get it shaped up and looking nice. And so we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. I'm actually pretty interested to see that, but that's what I did, and I feel good about that. It's cool. It kind of helps everybody else out, makes everything organized so people can find it and see it, clears up a lot of clutter, puts things where it needs to go so things aren't snagging on other things, because it's a shit show. It's not like a typical rack at the gym, at a commercial gym, where there's just accessories on a little ladder thing. This one's got little prongs and stuff that everything's hanging on. It's just such a bad layout. So it's shitty. So I just did that. So that was my random act of kindness. And thank goodness that I talked to a stranger today. I ran into the UPS man at work today. So I was like, yo, how many stops you got? And we just started talking about all sorts of shit with delivery and everything like that. Turns out he knows my uncle. One of my uncles used to work for UPS. He was a lifer. He worked there pretty much his whole life. Retired several years ago, but he knows him. So we were talking about that, and we were just talking about the comparison. It was cool. It was honestly like a 15-minute conversation. So that was more than enough for talking to a stranger. And that was a thought that I had today, which was it's so much easier to talk to people when you know something that you can talk about and have knowledge of what the topic is. So for example, yesterday I ran into a FedEx guy at Men's Warehouse. I had to go get fitted for a tux, and he was in there delivering. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, I got a pickup. What are you doing? I flipped my hat around. I'm like, I'm one of you. We just started laughing. And so we started talking about where he delivers, where I deliver, the neighborhoods, what it's like. It was a very short conversation, but a conversation nonetheless. And I was thinking about that, right? Like, I know what the fuck delivery driver entails. I know what the job is like. I know the questions to ask, the topics to hit. I know those things with that particular thing. Well, because I work for FedEx, obviously. So, but then I was thinking, when I asked the lady, do you got favorite bread? I just don't know. I didn't know what that person might want or have any desire or know of to talk about. So it was harder for me to pick something and then to follow that up with actual conversation. So anyway, kind of a little lesson that I learned, and it's an obvious one, but if you know what to talk about, or if you have knowledge on this is the big one. If you have knowledge on a subject, it makes it so much easier to talk about. And that leads me back to something that I've heard a lot lately, which is just preparing like 20 minutes in advance, or for 20 minutes before whatever, just because 20 minutes of preparation can make you seem 10 times smarter or more prepared or more put together or more calm, cool, and collected than if you didn't. So just having the knowledge of just UPS and FedEx, I was able to have a 15-minute conversation back and forth, so much so that it led back to my uncle in my family, so that's really cool. And 5 minutes is up. Let's get the fuck out. I forgot to bring a towel down here. It's great. So, so I was just thinking about shit like that today. But the thing that I wanted to talk about most, which I already did, so I think I'm done here. But just the test days, man, because yesterday was very hard for me. But today, it's difficult in its own right. I'm just running behind. What else do I have to do? So let me look at what else I have to do. I feel like there was a lot more. So I have to finish my water. I have to take a progress photo. Still got to take a cold shower. Got to stretch, record a podcast, upload that. I think I need to have a piece of toast, and I'll be good for the day. It's okay. So from the top. Photo, drink my gallon of water, which I'm pretty close. 5-minute cold shower, which is I'm about to do here in just a moment. And then I got to finish working on my program. Then I got to stretch for 15 minutes. And I'd like to run to Winco. I don't know if I'm going to make that. Okay, when you get water on your phone and then for some reason it just doesn't know how to function at all, period? Like you can't do anything because it's just like, oh, there's a finger touching it. Why does water register as something touching it? But like, I don't know. I'm just trying to scroll up and now I'm writing notes in the 75 hard app. This is great. Let's see if I can dry it off with more water on my pants. And it worked. That's so crazy, dude. Yeah, so I'd like to run to Winco. There's some things I need to buy. So I was going to do that on my way home today, but guess who forgot? I even called Winco to ask if they had what I needed in stock, and they do. And I was like, cool, I'll see you in a sec. Guess what? I pulled into my garage and I said, holy fuck, dude. And I said, okay, I'll go later. And here's another thing. I almost failed again today. There's a lot of close calls, and I'm really sick of that. So, whatever. But I came home, and I was reading when I got home. And I was falling asleep while I was reading because I'm just so fucking tired. And so I went and laid on my bed. I set a 5-minute timer, and I laid there. And after I lay there for a little bit, I realized that the timer hadn't gone off, and there's no way that I fell asleep and woke back up and the timer had not gone off. It was 5 minutes long. There's no way. And I realized that I set an hour and 5-minute timer. And I think I was there for about 17 minutes. So thank goodness that I didn't sleep. Otherwise, I'd be pretty shitty. So, all it takes is one little slip, dude. That's all it takes. Had a really close slip up with the Built Bar the other night. Had a close slip up with the cottage cheese. Well, I did. That failed. That was a while ago. Like 2 weeks ago now, something like that. And then we had last night, or I guess not last night, just earlier today, just barely, with the alarm. So all it takes is one little slip up. And anyway, so I think that's all I wanted to share today. So feeling good. I'm just tired as shit. I think my body, I'm getting used or adjusting to the new sleep schedule, which I think for this entire phase is just going to be pretty screwy. Because if I have to wake up at 2, it's actually 2:30. I've been readjusting because 2's too early. I don't need that much time. So it's about 2:30 I wake up now, and that's what time I have to. And then on days where I work FedEx, I'm not gonna have to wake up till like 5 or 6. So it's quite a drastic difference. So I'm trying to keep it on par, but it's you know what? If you're listening to this on the day that it's released, it's my birthday. So happy birthday, Bryson. So with my birthday coming up here and the 4th of July and family wanting to do things, etc., it's just all that combined. It's just I'm not going to get a consistent sleep schedule, period. So that sucks. But whatever. So it's just 26 more days after today. That's it. I'll be graduated from Live Hard. I'll be moving on from that. And I will be, I'll be about 6 weeks through or 7 weeks through the cut, which means I am almost halfway done. And I just am doing the cut for another reason than to do my own program and to show the results that I get from my own program. So that's that. So yeah, guys, as always, I really do appreciate and love that people give my shit a try and listen. We're getting people listening from New Zealand and Rwanda and Sweden and France and Dominican Republic. We're not double figures from any other country except Russia, New Zealand. What is it? Russia. Let's pull it up real quick. Russia, New Zealand, loading. Russia, New Zealand, India, Rwanda. That's it. So US has 1,238 streams. Russia has 48. New Zealand has 44. India has 30. Rwanda has 10. So we've got one country in the 4 digits, and then 4 in the 2 digits. And we've got St. Kitts and Nevis, Mexico, Australia, France, Sweden, South Africa, Malaysia, Poland, Peru, Norway, Brazil, Macau, Liberia, United Kingdom, Dominican Republic, Chile, Paraguay, and 2 streams from unknown. And so, as I've said before, that's from Mars. So all those that I said, just barely, are 6 streams or less. So kind of got a wide range of shit. Also, clicking on the stats real quick, it looks like about 3 p.m. About 2 to 3 p.m. is when people listen the most. Looks like Wednesday at 4 a.m. there's quite a lot. Sunday at 11 p.m. there's quite a lot. just interesting stuff, dude. And also I would like to point out that 874 of my streams have come from Safari. Or come from Spotify. The next highest is Safari, which I don't know even what that means. People listen to my podcast. I don't really know where that is coming from. Then we have Google Chrome, which I really don't know where that means. And then we have Apple Podcasts, which further proves and paints the picture that Spotify is indeed better. Matter of fact, Apple Podcasts is almost tied with iHeartRadio. And who the fuck uses that? No offense to anybody who listens on that, but what even is that? And then we have Amazon, and then we have Audible, and then we have Deezer and Podcast Addict. So it's kind of a little bit of a rundown. Highest recorded show or highest listens on one episode is episode 1 with 26. And it's funny because episode 2 has 12. So 14 people have listened to the first one and said, wow, I'm out. And that's fine. And the second highest is 157. Third highest is 100, which 157 and 100 were both posted about and linked in my Instagram bio. So perhaps that's why they have so much. 195 is fourth. It's called New House I Made It, which I think the title is misleading to some people because I made it doesn't mean like I bought a house. It means like I finally moved. I made it to June 1st. I made it to May 1st. What was it? I made it to May 1st. I got my own place. So I made it. So I think people think that I bought a house. So they're probably just checking on me. Then 225, that's fifth. That's the fifth highest with 13 as well. I hit 1K streaming, gaining traction again. Software companies need to be better in mic check. So for some reason, that one got a lot. So, and then it's Just Start, which is episode 2. And then, so that, I mean, kind of out of the blue, but that's some shit. That's some stats for you. So, yeah, that's it. So I'm going to end the show. I'm going to go take a cold shower and stretch and finish working on the program design, eat a little bit, write the show, upload the show. I'm going to try to bust ass to go to Winco and we come home and I'm going to sleep. So with that being said, and if you're listening today, when it's released on July 3rd, then happy birthday to your favorite podcaster and future entrepreneur and future Lamborghini owning stud. I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. And a quick reminder here. So this podcast doesn't prioritize professionalism or quality at all. It's just meant to be a shoot from the hip type podcast with the intent just to get a quick message out. So some episodes might be inaudible in 30 seconds and others might be 45 minutes and super crisp sounding. So all these are being made so that by episode 7,305, which is 20 years, we can come back and see the entire playbook of how I made it to wherever I'm going. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.